I am doing a Q&A video. I just filmed one, and if you want to see the last one I put up, I'll link it down below. But this one I'm pulling questions from Snapchat and from Twitter, so let's get into it. So from Sunny and Paul, do you have any goals or plans to move out soon? My whole goal is to save up for a house instead of going to rent. So I'm 20 right now, and I will probably be moved out and buying a house when I am about 22 or 23. There's this whole life plan that my parents and I have kind of together, because I live right now in a house where like me and my parents live on the top 2 levels, and then my grandparents live in the basement suite. So we're kind of mirroring that moving forward. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you my fucking life story. So my parents are gonna be moving down to Mexico when they retire in 2 or 3 years for 6 months out of the year. And then the rest of the time they're gonna come and live in my basement suite. So we're going to be looking for a place that has like separate entrances. It's like 2 different homes, or like side by side things, whatever. But basically I'm gonna be the homeowner and they're gonna be my renters. So the whole moving out thing kind of depends on when we sell this house and when I can find a house that I can A, afford, and B, like. It's reasons like this that I'm not going to VidCon, and I'm like going on 1 trip a year, and it's going to be a very cheap trip, and I'm trying to cut back on spending and stuff because I'm trying to save up for a mortgage, which I realize is the weirdest thing that's come out of a 20-year-old's mouth in a long time. At least the weirdest things that's come out of my mouth. So that is my life plan, and yeah, I'm gonna find a house. Weird. Brett says, why do nice guys always end at the bottom of the barrel? So like get the shitty end of the stick is what I think you're saying. And I don't think that it's nice guys. I think it's guys who accept being treated shitty. Because you can be nice, but you still have to be confident to go after what you want. That's why cocky guys get a lot of what they want, because they're confident, they can ask for it, they can go after what they want. They might get rejected, but they still went after it, you know? I think that people misinterpret nice guys with shy guys, you know? Like, but you can be nice and you can be confident and you can still get what you want. You can still get the girl, you can still get the job, you can still not let people butt in front of you in line, you just have to be able to speak up. So I don't think it's a thing of like, I should be less nice, it's just I should speak up for myself. From Chelsea, what methods are you using to cope with your anxiety? A new one that I haven't talked about before, and I'll leave my video where I talked about methods that I use to cope with my anxiety down below. A new one that my therapist actually recommended was having a proof list. So we kind of did like a ladder from 0 to 100 of all of the things that made me anxious, and we started from like 0 to 50. So 0 to 50 are like the lesser end, obviously, things like going to the gym, or staying overnight at a place that I don't know, or getting lost while driving, like things like that. And I write down before how I'm feeling. So I might be feeling anxious, I might be having stomach cramps, like the physical symptoms, the mental symptoms, and then after I write down how I'm feeling when I've accomplished this. And I'm usually feeling this immense sense of relief and pride that I actually went through with it instead of procrastinating. So having that proof list to kind of look back on these things that I've accomplished, it shows me when I'm going in to do my next thing that makes me very anxious, that like, look, you've done all of these other things that make you want to just quit, that make you want to just drop off and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that today, I'll do that later. And you accomplished it and you felt amazing, so you can do this too. And having that proof that isn't only in your mind, something that you can physically look at written down for you, it's so helpful. So that's one thing I would recommend. Do you trust doctors? I think this is because I went to the doctor today and I Snapchat about my entire life. I do, but I also understand people who don't, because I get that I'm privileged in that I'm a healthy body type. You know, I understand that there is like some fat phobia or transphobia, and there's things that doctors aren't necessarily as educated on, or depending on where you live, as open about. So because I am a cis white female who's rather petite, I trust my doctor because I'm the type of patient that she's probably used to seeing, but I can also appreciate people who may not trust everything that a doctor says, because you might not be the kind of person your doctor is like used to seeing, which isn't an excuse. Like, doctors are medical professionals and they should be adaptive, you know? So I do, but I understand like a lack of trust as well. I get so upset easily over most things and I hate it. Any suggestions? I take Lorelai Gilmore's advice in this. If you guys remember that episode where Lorelai Gilmore from Gilmore Girls, obviously, and her mother Emily were talking in Lorelai's house, and her mom was like, you know, why are you laughing or something? And Lorelai was like, I've decided long ago to find amusement in your anger, to find amusement in your disappointment, to even in some twisted way find it funny, to hope for it to happen because it brings me joy. And I think that's how you have to look at like little annoyances. Like for example, when somebody comes and barges into my room unannounced. When I was 14 and hormonal, that would drive me crazy. I would get so irrationally upset about that. Or even going to the movies when I was like 7, I would get so stressed out about getting my own popcorn because I didn't want my brother to eat it all. And like, what if there wasn't enough popcorn left for the entire movie? Oh my god. But instead, I realized that was an insane person thought, and I took a breath and I realized it's not a big deal. You can just eat some popcorn. If there's no more popcorn, life continues to go on. You know, like you talk yourself through it rationally. You realize, why am I expelling negative energy about this stupid fucking thing? Like sometimes you just have to talk to yourself like, wow, you're being really fucking stupid right now. Stop acting like an idiot. Just breathe. And last question, I've been hooking up with this guy on and off for over a year now. We took some time apart last September, but keep finding ourselves drawn to each other. He never wants to take me out anywhere though, unless it's at night in his car or at my house when no one's home. Is he just playing me? I don't think he's necessarily playing you if you describe your relationship as this is the guy that I've been hooking up with. I think he's kind of sticking with the guy that you've hooked up with. You know, this isn't the guy that you were dating, this is the guy that you would sometimes make out with. I think if you want to change your relationship, you need to have that kind of a conversation with him and tell him what you want. But otherwise, I don't think he's playing you. I think he's just kind of continuing with what your relationship has been. And if that makes you uncomfortable, tell him. If he doesn't want to do the same thing, I would step back and get out of it, no matter how much you feel drawn to him, because at the end of the day, you both want different things and you're just going to end up getting hurt. So that's the last question for this Q&A. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And as of me putting this video live, I am in San Francisco, so make sure that you're following me on Twitter, especially if you live in San Francisco, because if you see me around, then you should come and say hi. And I'm going to be tweeting out where I am, which is the Twitter connection for that sentence. But I'm there from the 17th up into the 23rd. I'm leaving like super early in the 24th, so that doesn't really even count. But yeah, so follow me on Twitter, okay? Hopefully you all enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up. I'm repeating everything I already said, so thanks for watching and I will see you all very soon. Bye guys.